Yo, what's up, everybody? Professor V here, and it's been a while, hasn't it? My bad. Let's talk about how to take notes in college. The school semester just begun, and your professors are now getting into the course material, and you're expected to take notes in class. However, sometimes it's difficult on how to take notes. I understand that. I've been there. So, what exactly should you consider to write in your notes? Active listening can drastically help while taking notes. This includes being attentive in class despite your level of interest in the material. Good notes are compiled with key concepts, main ideas of the key concept, and supporting details. You should be able to reflect this information back, meaning being able to apply the concept and repeat it accurately. For instance, you might say when your professor is talking about classical conditioning, so the gist of this lesson is the unconditioned stimulus is the reason for the natural response. Your notes should contain an abbreviated reflection of this concept, such as unconditioned stimulus equals causes natural response. You must also be certain to not let your own negative thoughts about the course material or the instructor get in the way of you actively listening. Don't pass any judgments during class, such as, I don't get it, or the professor is just terrible. Ignore these thoughts and put the energy into active listening rather than the negative thoughts. Asking questions can help you expand your notes. I know it can be difficult to ask questions in class, whether it be due to shyness, afraid to be incorrect, or you just may not even know what to ask. But don't be afraid. This is what professors are there for, to answer questions on the material to be certain that you understand said material. Chances are, if you have questions over the course material, someone else also has the exact same question. If you want to wait to speak with your professors after class or during office hours, please do so. Again, that is why professors hold office hours. If you don't know what questions to ask, simply ask your professor to repeat or ask more information about the course material. Perhaps you could ask a question such as, can you repeat that about unconditioned stimuli? Or, what does unconditioned mean? Also, come to class with questions, but the only way you'll know if you have questions before is to read before class begins. Make notes of what to ask your professor in class or after class for items you don't understand. Also, your professor may even answer some of those questions in class, so actively listen for the answer to those questions. This also brings me to my next point. Go to class. Often, your professors may give you hints in their language when lecturing. You need to listen for these verbal cues. Some key phrases to listen for is, the point is, the main thing is, or this is very important. However, it is not limited to these phrases. Sometimes they will also give you cues to some supporting details to the course material, such as, a good example is, evidence shows, or to explain further. Again, it is not limited to these phrases. Other supporting details could include personal experiences, experiments, definitions, names, lists, facts, and data. Keep an ear out for those. Moving on to how to take notes. There are two main ways to take notes, linear and graphic. Linear notes is when you record the concepts in the same order in which the professor presented the material. This could look like outlines and record main ideas followed by supporting details on the next line. Using numbers, tick marks, or just indentations for understanding which statements are main ideas and which notes are supporting details. The best way to utilize the outline method of note-taking is using short phrases instead of full sentences. At the top of the page of your notes, write the subject so you know what the notes are on by taking a glance when you review them. You probably want to use some type of level system to note which details belong to which concepts. This could be Roman numerals, letters, or just bullet points and hash marks. Main ideas should be written with the highest level, and supporting details should be on subsequent lines using a lower level and indenting a few spaces. Sometimes details will have their own details and thus use a lower level line. This note-taking technique is best used when a professor delivers well-organized notes and/or PowerPoint slides. However, some professors like to jump around from topic to topic and then back again. The other type of note-taking technique that is best used when professors do this is concept map notes. Concept map notes look drastically different but are still well organized. It's all about placement of the concepts. In outline notes, the topic or key concept would be at the top of the page. In concept maps, it would be in the center of the page and draw a shape around it. Personally, I like circles. A main idea of a key concept should be written near the key concept and draw a shape around it and connect it with the key concept using a simple line. Do the same with supporting details extending from the main ideas. Connect them with lines. Again, concept map notes are useful for when professors jump from topic to topic and then back again. They are also helpful in classes that utilize classroom discussions, as points will be brought up about previous concepts. When outline notes, it's difficult to add notes to previously written notes. However, concept notes removes this barrier. There are other ways to take notes. Always use what is best for you, but always take notes in class. Do not just sit there. Note taking keeps you engaged with the material, and when you are engaged with the material, your brain processes the concepts more thoroughly. Some additional tips for note taking are to condense your notes. Do not attempt to write everything your professor states. It's difficult to keep up. Listen for those key concepts and details. When taking notes, especially in outline notes, leave blank space to add notes later if your professor skips ahead and then comes back. Or if you write down a question, leave space for the answer for when it is answered or you actually ask the question. And lastly, use abbreviations. Come up with your own abbreviations. Just be sure to remember what those abbreviations stand for. Write down your abbreviations and what they stand for somewhere on your notes until you memorize them. And when all else fails, record the class. It's always more respectful to ask your professor first if they don't mind having their lectures recorded. Most smartphones have voice recorders. Just make sure you are allowed to have electronic devices out in class, as some classes have restrictions. If so, have your cell phone where allowed and record the lecture. And those are some tips for what to take notes on and how to take them. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe if not already, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.